Hello everyone and welcome back for another video of my self-taught watchmaking journey. So in today's video I will show you how you can customize your watch movement rotor, which is this one. I'm really sorry, but that's the only rotor that I have, and as you can see it already has a brand on it, but I'm afraid that this is the only rotor that I have. So in today's video I will show you how you can customize it by, like, from this looking like this, or like this with your own logo. So I have many options here to show you. Okay, so that being said, I just wanted to tell you guys this video will be long, I'm afraid. The thing is, there are a few things that you have to know when you do your own rotor, so you kind of have to have patience. But if you want to have your own rotor looking like this, for example, you will need to see the whole video, because in this video I will show you how to do the rotor and how to do the design for the rotor as well. Okay, so that being said, let's get to it. Alright, so what you need to do first, you need to remove this. This is the first thing that you have to do. You will need to remove this thing from inside, the barrel from inside. And once you do that, the rotor should look like this. The thing is, what you have to know about the rotor itself, it has two pieces. So this is one piece, that this is made of brass, and this is another piece that I think is made of nickel, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, there are many other rotors that they come in different shapes, different materials as well. Like Patek Philippe does it from gold. So basically, this is a tutorial for you guys how to make a rotor for the ETA 2824. And for the ETA, I think it's ETA 2824 that uses this rotor, and I think it's another one that uses the same rotor as well. But this video and this design is for that. But based on this design, you can actually do other rotors as well, and you can do this one for the 750, which is this one. You can do all sorts of them, but this is basically the basics what you have to know before starting to make your own rotors. Okay, so that being said, now I will get to the design to show you guys exactly what I'm doing. Before doing that, I really want to thank you all for subscribing to my channel. That really means a lot. At the moment I'm already past 100, and if you guys follow my journey so far, you will know that I will give away a free watch. So if you watch my videos, if you watch my previous videos, you will see how to get into the competition of winning the watch. And again, thank you all for subscribing, and it means a lot. And again, everything that I'm sharing with you guys, of course, I'm sharing them for free, and I'm showing you my journey, and I'm showing you this, for example, the rotors, the way you have to do it and everything. Again, this one I learned by myself. You cannot find rotors customized. Probably you can find people doing it, but you can't find them to buy them customized with your own logo. No one really does that. So that's why I said, like, I want to learn to do this by myself. And again, like I said to you guys, I'm not asking for money from you of doing these videos and everything, sharing all my journey and everything. All I need for you is just subscribe to my channel, because that will actually help me in the future to make more videos like this. And I will share with you guys every single thing that I'm learning, and every single thing that I'm actually discovering as well by myself and everything. Okay, so again, thank you very much, and let's get to the design now to show you exactly what you have to do. Okay, so I will have to do a side-by-side video for you guys to see exactly what I'm doing. Again, I never did this before, side-by-side or any other video editing or any other video for that matter. So just bear with me. I will have to put this video on one side and this video on the other side because you will need to see this. So this is the design that I did for this, for example. As you can see, rotors, they come in different shapes. So you have this rotor that has this holes here that makes it look more interesting, or you have this rotor, for example, that is just straight. And it's really up to you guys. I do not know what rotor you have, but in this particular video I will be showing you this one. Okay, so what you have to do, you don't really have to create the whole thing that I created, this rotor shape here. This one I did it for my personal use, but you don't really need this. All you need is this bullseye looking sort of thing. This is what you need, and this is the only thing that you need. If you want to make it the way this one looks, that's really up to you guys. I did it just for my own preference, basically, to see how it looks and everything. But the bullseye thing, you just have to imagine, you just have to cut this whole thing, all of it, in your mind. That's it, and you just need the bottom one. All the rotors, they are normally round, but they are cut in half, as you can see. But normally they are a round shape. What you have to do is take the measurements of the rotor itself, and once you take the measurements, then you will know exactly what measurement it has, and you will know how to do it on the fiber laser and how to do the design. Okay, so that being said, let me tell you what these lines does. The first line, this one, it's actually, you go on the other side. I'll show you on this one actually. So the first line is not the barrel itself, is not this, is the other one. Let me show you guys. It's one second. Okay, it's actually this. This is the first line. It's not this, but it's this. So this is the first line, because that one you do not want to cut. You do not want to mess with that one, so that's why you have to measure it. Again, before making all of this, before going to the lines, I can't really give you a measurement for the lines. Well, you can see it here, but it kind of depends. You just have to adjust your laser. So the thing is, these lines, for example, the way they are here, first what you have to do is adjust the laser when it frames with the red dot. If it frames here, for example, around this circle, make sure that it engraves exactly where it frames. That setting you can actually find on YouTube. It's one guy that shows all the settings that you have to do for adjusting your fiber laser the right way. It took me around 40 minutes, probably even more, to adjust it myself to frame, when it frames like here, it has to engrave exactly where it frames. It's very, very important to adjust it very, very accurate, especially when you do tiny things like this. You will see when you have to write this writing here, you will see that it matters to be exactly precise. So anyway, after you adjust your laser proper, make sure, like I said, that you take the measurements, and make sure that you take the measurements from the inside. And again, when you do everything what you see here in the design, when you do the lines, it's important to have these lines here as well. Like I said, make sure that it's a bullseye, because this is your point of reference. This is the way you can adjust your laser to go exactly the way it should go. As you can see in this one, let me see if I can focus proper. As you can see, it's proper. Like, it's very precise. As you can see, the distance here, the distance here, the distance here, every single thing. So you really have to make sure that you're adjusting your fiber laser proper, and make sure that you're doing the design proper. And again, when you focus the fiber laser and when you focus everything, make sure you use a magnifying glass to see if everything is precise. Anyway, like I said, this is the first line, which is this at the back. This one that you don't want to cut. Let me take another clean one. Yeah, so this is the first line. You can actually see it. It's another line under this line basically. The second line, this one, it's exactly this line here. You do not want to mess up with this thing. So this is the one that keeps the two parts together. It's not welded, but the way they are using is by puncture the whole thing, and this is the way they keep the things together. So basically, if you're gonna cut this part here, probably in the future it will not hold the right way, and it will just hold, let's just say, this part and a bit this part here, and probably in time will just fall down. So I would recommend you guys, if you're using a rotor like this one, like the one that I'm having, I would recommend you guys to not touch this part whatsoever, and just focus on this empty part. That's the one that you have to cut. So basically, this line that you see here, it's exactly this line, end of the part that you want to engrave. The other line, this one for example, we go on this side, and let me give you this example. The other line is the one that you write, as you can see, anything that you want here. 25 joules, Swiss made, or whatever you wanna write. So that's exactly below the hole here. As you can see, that's the one that you do not want to mess, but that's the one that you can actually write something on this part. It's really up to you guys if you want to write something there, or if you want to write something somewhere else. I've seen some movements, some rotors that they have written here. There are some ETA ones that they had the thing written here. It's really up to you guys where you want to write something, but keep in mind, do not make a hole on this part. Make a hole on the top of that. So that's why I'm writing all my things here, because I need this one to be empty. I mean, to be a hole, and this afterwards will look very empty. So that's why I'm writing it here. I'm writing it there. Okay, so the other line here is this line, as you can see here, where you can write your own logo or whatever you want to write on this one. And of course, the last line, it's exactly the end of the rotor, which again, either you can write something here, you can do designs, you can do whatever. But keep in mind, you will need this bullseye that I have here. So this bullseye, all the distance in between them is measured by me already, so feel free to take all the measurements, pause the video when you want and take the measurements and see if the measurements work for you. If you adjust the fiber laser proper, if you adjust the focus, these measurements should work for you as well. So like I said, feel free to take the measurements if you want for the whole thing and try it on and go from there. Okay, so that being said, I showed you about this thing. Let me show you how I do this design. Again, it's really up to you guys how you do your own design. I mean, this is my choice. I mean, this is the way I chose it, but it's really up to you guys how you want to do it. But in this particular video, I will show you the simple design. You can actually search something online if you want. You can search something on Google. If you have much experience with LightBurn, you will know how to do the whole thing. But just keep in mind, keep it minimal with the whole thing, because you don't really have much room. You have from here to here, and that's it. And this part you still need a bit of space for it to hold. For example, like this, you know, you see it doesn't bend. It's like it stays proper. So make sure that you're still leaving a bit of space here. Okay, so that being said, what you need to do is take this. It's important to take these lines, this line and this line, and then you take first and the second one. You duplicate it and you leave the whole thing here. You'll see why. You duplicate it. I already did mine, but I'm just gonna show you guys. I already did mine, as you see here. So you duplicate it and you put it somewhere else to just work on it, as you can see here. So now that you have the whole thing here, what you need to do is make a circle like this. As you can see, this one is already made. You make a circle, you duplicate this one as well. You make another tiny circle in the middle. This second circle, it's, let me show where is it. So this is the circles that you're creating at the moment. So this is the circle. You need something to hold the H in place. Again, you guys, when you use a logo, make sure that you're using a minimal logo, something not too complicated. I don't know if you guys noticed, but all the watch brands out there, they are using something minimal, something simple, something that it will be easy to cut and it will be easy to stamp. So do not use something very difficult, because the more difficult you're using, the more difficult will be for you to do this type of thing. So look at Patek Philippe, look at Rolex, Omega, all of the big watch brands, they are not using something difficult, something complicated. They are using something simple and as a logo, basically. I mean, again, here, if you're using a logo, for example, in my case, Hypnotic, I can use the H. Probably in your case, I mean, let's just say in Omega, they can still use their Omega sign here, or well, if they want to do, I mean, if they do the rotor like this. So my point is, do not use a complicated logo, for example, like this one. You can see this is the logo for my barbershop. It's a fox, and that's way too complicated to cut. And even though it's a fiber laser, and even though they are very precise, it would not be able to do this type of logo. I mean, cut it and stuff like that. It does it like engrave, but you will not be able to cut it to put it there. Anyway, let's get back to this. Like I said, use a simple logo. In this case, I will show you guys how I'm doing this. It's just a simple letter A from Avengers, apparently. So what you have to do now is just take this, no, actually take the smaller one. First take the smaller one and see how it is. You duplicate it and you just take it and you put it anywhere you want. Just do not go. For example, if the dial, if your rotor is like this straight, for example, like this, you can take this circle and you can put it a bit higher like this, and you will be cutting the whole thing, this one. But if your rotor is like this, make sure that you're imagining it in your mind, you're picturing it in your mind, that this here is this here. So you do not want to cut this whole thing, because you will not have room to hold. Basically, you will not have a portion of the rotor to hold. I know probably it's a bit difficult for you to understand, but you will see what I mean later. So you take this one, I just say I put it here. Make sure when you do this circle, make sure that it touches these lines here. Like basically it cuts those lines there, like so. And just picture it now that this part, as you see this shape, this is the one that you're cutting, and I will show you guys how to do that. So what you have to do now is place one of these on the other side, but place it evenly, exactly the way this one is. So the way you do it, just duplicate this one, you press Control or Command on one of these, just go mirror here on the top, and as you see it went exactly the way this one is. So now what you have to do, when you do this circle here in the middle, everything that you do, all the circles that you do, make sure that it touches this as well. The sides of this is very important. Again, you can either use a circle, or you can just take this, for example, make it a bit, not that big, make it like this, for example. Again, make sure that it touches this and this as well. And once you do that, I will show you the final result, because I did one already. It will look like this. As you see, the H floats basically, and is joined with the sides, with this one and with this one. So there are multiple ways of doing this, these rotors, either with the circle or without the circle. But in this video I will show you how to do it with the circle like this. Okay, so what you have to do now is just take this one and take the other one as well, and now you group. And once you group them, press Command or Control, press Command and Control on this one, and then you click on this shape here. You do the same thing for this, press this, and then you do the same thing for this one as well. Actually, sorry about that, just keep it a bit more, so make it a bit bigger, because from here to here you will be that, you will be this basically, that the circle will hold into this basically. It will make more sense after you guys see the final result. So once you go on this, click on this, and then you go like that, and then you go with this one again, with this one on both of them, and you click like this, and as you can see. And now what you have to do is ungroup, you take this one and you delete it, and you take the whole thing again from here, and make sure, that's why I said that you have to take the lines, make sure that it's centered proper. And as you can see, now you have a Avengers rotor. you take this one, you delete, take this one, you delete, take this one, and this one, and let's have a look on how it will look. As you can see, that's the thing that I told you about, to make the circle bigger, because that will be the part that will hold into this. The thinner it is, the more you have the risk of breaking after, I don't know, few years or whatever. It will be very, very sensitive, so it's much better to just leave a bit more space, like here for example. And as you can see, this is what you're gonna cut. This part is cut, this part is cut, this, and it's only the A floating in the middle of the design like this. And there you have it. This is the way you do your thing, your rotor, basically, with the design. Another thing that you have to consider when you do it. So there are two ways of doing it. The first one is do it like this, for example, and like this you do it from the top. And when you do it from the top, this is the way you will turn out, because you will burn. The power of the laser will burn the whole thing and you will see black, so it will mess up the whole thing, because this one actually the color was like this basically, so you will end up ruining the plating of this portion. So what you have to do is, when you do this from the top, you will have to plate it or leave it the way it is, but just so you know, in the future will deteriorate and you will change color in the future, so it will be okay to plate it. That's from the top if you fiber laser from the top. If you fiber laser from the bottom, this is the way it will turn out, like this. This is from the bottom, so I started the fiber laser from here. So you put it on the surface of the laser like this, and you start from here. You take the measurements. Actually, it's much easier this way, because you take the measurement, because you can see the lines, basically all the lines, and you know how to take the measurements. But make sure when you do it from the back like this, you will not have any sort of residue here in the front. You will not have a black thing, you will not have absolutely anything. This is the way you will look after you just wipe it with something. Again, sorry about the rotor, because the rotor is not my own, or it's just a rotor that I had before, so it's not a blank rotor. But this is the way you will look if you do it from the back. As you see, the H, comparing with this one for example, the H is a bit thicker than this one. This is much slimmer and this is a bit thicker, but that's the only difference that you're gonna have if you do it from the back. So if you do it from the back, actually it will be ideal if you do not do electroplating. This is the way I used to do it before. I used to do it from the back, from here, and it turned out to be okay. You just have a bit of decoloration here. Here you'll have it yellow, because like I said, this one is made of brass. But again, there are a few things out there that you can actually wipe this, or you can actually transfer. I will show you guys in 1 second what I mean. So this is what I mean. This is something that I would just rub on, and it works-ish. It works enough for hiding this. For hiding if you see yellow there or something like that, it works enough for that. In this particular one, I do not really see necessary yellow. You just have to polish it proper afterwards. Just, I don't know, use some tools to polish everything inside, but this is the way it will look. Another thing that you have to consider, if you go from the back, from here, the letter, this one, which is this A here, for example, this has to be mirrored, has to be like this. Keep in mind, it's very, very important, not this one, because the A is quite the same. It's either like this or like this, it doesn't matter. But if you're using another letter, it has to be backwards, it has to be mirrored. So keep that in mind. It's very, very important that you use mirrored. For example, if you're doing a B or something like that, it has to be mirrored because you're doing it from the back. If you're doing it from the front, then it has to be normal. So that's about it for the video today. If you have any questions regarding this, I will actually be happy to answer them all. The settings that you need for this, so when you cut through, because this is 0.2 millimeters thick, this thing inside, there are many rotors that they come in a different for example, this one, different thickness. This one I think is 0.4, this one is a Chinese. Usually Swiss rotors, they are made of 0.2, so they are very, very thin, just so you know. If you're using it, if you're planning to use it for this, probably the setting will actually be a bit stronger. But the setting is like you see here, so it's 500. Power is actually, I'm doing it starting from 60, and frequency is 20, and passes, let's just say you do it on how many times you think it goes on the other side. So like I showed you before, when you do it, you have to put the rotor. So basically this is with the front and this is with the back. You will have to put it on a piece of metal like this one, and when it goes on the other side, I will not show you guys how. I mean, I have a video of how to do it, but in case you guys do not know or you want me to pause the video, I can pause the video to see how I do the whole thing. It's actually pretty easy. It's not really that hard. The most difficult part was the design and the whole thing, the measurements and everything. The cutting part actually is very easy because this one is a 0.2 millimeters thick brass. Will cut, like if you have a 50 watts power laser, it will cut through butter. Honestly, it will cut very easy. I think it will go all the way to the other side after. With these settings I showed you, I think it goes 20 or 30 passes, it already goes on the other side. Now make sure one thing, make sure when it does on the other side, make sure you leave it for a longer period of time, even if it went on the other side, even if you see that it went on the other side, because usually you see. If you're using something like this, if you're using stainless steel material at the back, you will see that the flame will actually change, will become from I just say it will become a bit lighter when it will reach this metal. So this is the way you will know that it went through. So once it goes through, you will leave it a bit longer and longer and longer and longer till it cuts every single detail. That's all. That's all you have to do. But make sure that you're using this at the back and you should be okay. It's not that difficult. Like I said, I'm not gonna post a video of cutting the whole thing because that's easy. That's like you're cutting your own dial or whatever. It's actually pretty straightforward. But if you do have any questions and if you do not know how to do it, I can post a video and I can show you guys how I cut the rotor. Okay, so that's about it, and this is the way you do your own rotor. Again guys, these things, they are actually quite expensive to find. If you find your customized rotor, if you do your customized rotor, they are quite expensive.